it going, everybody? Welcome back to another rebuild challenge here on the Red Vibe channel. I've been really enjoying these this season. I think we've probably only done about 5 of these, but they've all been very fun. They've all done very well in terms of like performance and views on the channel as well. So I'm going to do more of these. Of course, let me know in the comments who you'd want to see me do next. Maybe a club that's not in the Premier League. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys. But we are taking control of Burnley today in the rebuild challenge. Now, for those who haven't watched rebuild challenges on the channel before, here's a quick summary of the rules. I can only make up to 3 signings in the first summer transfer window. We can make an additional 1 signing in the winter transfer window if we want to. We can only promote 1 player from the youth academy each season. The entire season then is simulated with the exception of the last competitive game. So there we go, those are the rules. We have a £22.7 million budget with Burnley, which is the 3rd lowest in the league after Brentford and Norwich. So it's going to be a challenge. Obviously, we have got Weghorst in the team after the January transfer update. However, it's still going to be a challenge. I'm going to say our aim for Burnley is going to be the quarter-final of a domestic cup, and in the league I'm going to say top 14 would be a success. So lots of crazy signings going on, but we have made our first one as Burnley boss here as well. £11.2 million for Curtis Jones from Liverpool. Now, I think Burnley have had a bit of a hole in their midfield since Defoe left. He was kind of like a European talent in some ways, and he really gave Burnley that extra quality. Obviously, he had injury problems and he eventually left, and I don't think they've really replaced him. They've got some good, hard-working, solid midfielders that suit Sean Dyche's way of playing as well. However, this guy, I think he's got a little bit of both. More box-to-box energy about him. 11.2 mil anyway. Not a bad price tag for the 20-year-old who is going to probably be one of our most important players, if not our most important player this season. And I think he's going to change Burnley, change our identity a little bit, but also he is still a bit of a Burnley DNA kind of player. He's got that hard-working mentality, but he's got a little bit of class about him as well. So this could be a very big player for us this season. So let's have a look at this Burnley squad then. So we've obviously signed Jones. He comes straight in at centre mid. Westwood drops to the bench. I think Jones, obviously at the moment, 2 ratings below Westwood. Won't take him long to reach the 77 that Westwood's currently at. Also, Jones has a little bit more variation to his play. Again, you can see his stats there, quite balanced. So he's got a little bit more attacking presence about him. We are sticking to this 4-4-2. So we've got McNeil and Cornet as our main guys on the left and right mid positions. Weghorst up front at the moment with Rodriguez. Probably looks to strengthen striker. And obviously we only have 2 more signings left this summer, so probably a young striker to partner Weghorst, and then maybe like a fullback to provide some competition for Taylor, Roberts, and of course Loughton down here as well. We have sold a couple of players. I'll go through those players that we've sold in bulk at the end of the first transfer window, so you can just see it all nice and clearly. And we have changed a couple of positions as well. Vidra becomes a left winger. Kind of doesn't matter if he goes left mid, just to provide a little bit of balance and a little bit of depth for the wide positions. And then in terms of tactics, we've gone for a balanced defensive style and long ball build-up, because we obviously do have 2 big men up front at the moment in Rodriguez and of course Weghorst, the January sign-in. Happy with the keeper Pope, happy with Weghorst as well, who needs a partner up front. But yeah, do you know what? I actually feel confident that we can at least keep Burnley up and then hopefully take them a little bit further as well. Let's see how far we can get them this season. So after our initial purchase of Jones, we still obviously have 2 players left to sign in this summer transfer window. Now we also should probably keep a little bit of tabs on our board objectives. So one of them was to sign at least 2 players younger than 20 years old with potential greater than the average overall rating of players currently in the same position. Obviously Jones fits that bill. Can we find a striker or a fullback also who fits that bill? Right, now you can see here we have a little green tick next to that objective we just talked about, signing the 2 players younger than 20 years old with good potential. So let's have a little look right now at who we actually signed in order to meet that objective. Here he is, the boy, João Pedro from Watford, 3.75 mil. Very cheap. We've still got a lot of money left to do stuff with in this transfer window, maybe for a fullback as we kind of talked about. But yeah, £3.75 million for this 19-year-old striker. He's Brazilian, so bringing a little bit of that South American flair to Burnley, which they kind of need a little bit to let go of this sort of stigma of being this sort of rigid 4-4-2 defensive team that survives by the skin of their teeth just from sheer like discipline and hard work every season. So we're kind of transitioning that. João Pedro is part of that strategy, and we have 1 more player left to sign. And how much do we have after those 2 signings? We do have just about £20 million. So we can actually make this last signing of the summer quite a good one, I think. All right, third signing made then. And we have paid 13.7 mil there for Diogo Dalot from Manchester United. So 3 very young signings, 3 promising signings for the future. And hopefully they give us enough quality in order to survive at the bare minimum in the Premier League this season. And then obviously we're aiming for sort of mid-table-ish. So there we go. Those are our 3 signings of the summer. We do have about £5 million left and obviously potentially more players to sell as well. So having a look at our team now, just on a glance here, they've all gone into our starting lineup. Sorry, they haven't, because Rodriguez is currently keeping João Pedro out of the front line. However, Jones has gone in at centre mid and Dalot's gone in at left back ahead of Taylor. And that is a pretty solid Premier League team, if you ask me, with a lot of room to grow as well. So obviously part of evolving this squad, we're going to have to sort out some contracts. We're going to have to evolve the contract situation, make sure all the players are happy as they play for Burnley. Now, Tarkowski, who's pretty much our best player, one of our best players anyway, really important in that sort of solid defensive spine we have. He wants a new contract, basically. He's come to me and he's asked for it. So we're going to have to look at it. I've told him we'll look at it. And there are also going to be other players that definitely have to have their contract situations looked at. So let's go to the squad hub. If we go over to financial and do this by contract, there's so many players that are going, or their contracts are going to expire at the end of the season. So many. Wow. Including Tarkowski, including some really important players like me, Rodriguez, Vidra as well, and a lot of the youngsters as well. So we're going to have a look at this situation. Yeah, so with the exception of a few players here, Bardsley, Lennon, the really older guys that are close to retirement age, I have pretty much nailed down everybody else that I wanted to on a longer term contract. We don't have the option to do it for these guys that are on loan, so we'll have to look at that at the end of the season. And then these players, Harker and Dodgson, not quite good enough to really earn themselves a contract at this point. Dodgson will maybe have a look at again in January, but a lot of the senior players, Rodriguez, I think Ashley Barnes, and importantly like Tarkowski and me, those guys have all been signed on longer deals. So the situation is a lot more secure with the playing staff now at Burnley. That's always good. And that takes us to the end of transfer deadline day. Let's have a look after we've skipped this last hour at some of the main transfers from some of our peers, some of our rivals, and also, of course, the players that we've let go. So, obviously, here are the 3 that we brought in João Pedro, Dalot, and Curtis Jones as well. In terms of exits, then, we did let Eric Peters go to Levante for 1.8 mil. Dale Stephens to Southampton for 1.7 mil. And actually, I thought there were more, but those were the only 2. So we only got sort of just over £3 million in incoming transfers. And luckily, we had that budget there. A little bit of money from the pre-season tournament as well. In terms of generic transfers, then, look at these 2 signings for Chelsea. Coman and Tielemans, 150-ish mil spent on those 2 overall. Crazy times. Correa to Leicester. That's a really good signing for them. Guedes to Arsenal. Koulibaly. Jorginho goes to PSG. Marino to Liverpool. That's a good signing for them. Saka to Dortmund. That's crazy. Pulisic has left Chelsea for PSG. Guess that kind of justifies the money they spent. Kovacic to Barca. Let's keep going. There's so many. Pereira to Liverpool. So now they've got Trent and Pereira at right back. Wow. Some amazing signings there. Spinazzola to City as well. That's another good one. Wow, man. Some really big ones here. We did enter the European International Cup, where we did come second in the group after 2 draws and a loss somehow. Wolfsburg completely obliterated the group. We actually got drawn to Granada and lost in the semi-finals there. So that was how we got a little bit more money. We're currently sitting 16th, still winless this season. Let's have a look at how we've been doing in the in the actual season. So in August then, we drew our opening game to Brighton 1-1. We lost 5-0 to Liverpool. Got knocked out of the cup by Brighton as well. It's the Carabao Cup. Pretty tough draw. Another Premier League opponent in the first round, or I guess that could be the second or third round with the Carabao. And then Leeds did take a point off us as well. So no wins yet. I mean, Brighton and Leeds, later on in the season, I'd like to be getting 3 points against those kinds of teams. We've got 3 games this month. And we've got Everton, Arsenal and Leicester. So 3 very difficult ones, but hopefully we can pick up a win somewhere here. So our first sale that's going to take effect, obviously, in January when that window now opens. And Jack Cork is going to leave to Besiktas in the Turkish League. 3.5 million, a little bit more money in case we do want to exercise that extra signing that we can make in January. Now, obviously, we can, if we choose to, promote 1 player from our youth academy this season. Obviously, I haven't actually spent any money going on a youth scouting hunt, but we have inherited this guy, Lucas Hidalgo, the the Argentinian centre forward. No idea what he's doing in the Burnley academy, but he is here. He's 64 rated and he's 15 years old. So once he is of age sort of 16, we can promote him to the senior squad, and we have a really promising young, again, South American talent up front in our ranks. So he's probably the guy we're going to go for, almost definitely. All right, here we are at the end of September, and we did manage to pick up 4 points from those 3 fixtures, which actually, by our standards, early on in this season, early on in this project, isn't too bad. We got a draw against Everton, lost narrowly to Arsenal, and then we did actually win away against Leicester. So, you know, that's a really good result for a team that's been hovering around the European places for the last few seasons. I'll take that. All right, our guy, Lucas Hidalgo, he has reached the age of 16, still 64 rated, so we're definitely going to get him involved and promote him to the senior squad, and that is our token for the youth academy that we don't always use in these rebuild challenges, but we are going for Burnley. We're in a little bit more of a desperate situation than some of the other rebuild challenges we've done, so that is a really good player to get in. And remember, we cannot now sign any more players. By the way, I've just seen Dwight McNeil's been called up to England. That's crazy. Tarkovsky and Pope as well. I mean, okay, go on, Burnley, let's go. All right, we got a game against Brentford here. Oh, we win that one. I was about to say, if we win that, that is a super month for us. October, then, we take 9 points out of a possible 12, and we actually gave Manchester City there on the 16th a really good game as well. So very pleased with that. Southampton, Brentford, Norwich, these are all teams that are going to be knocking around the bottom half of the table, where some people would expect, or most people would expect, Burnley to be. So to get 9 points out of those games is incredible. I'll take that big time. All right, on to November now. Oh my word. Okay, November, everybody, and we've managed to take a victory out of the game against Tottenham Hotspur, for starters. That's crazy. We beat Palace as well, and we did only narrowly lose to Chelsea 1-0. We must be climbing up the table at this rate. We'll check it maybe at the end of December. But wow, we are on some good form here. Hopefully this continues. Oh my word, now unless we beat Manchester United here, which we do. I was about to say we would have a winless month now in December, because we got so many draws. 1 loss there to Wolves. Good job we were drawing and not losing, picking up points here and there. But then we actually go to Old Trafford and win. Wow, okay, still, we must be about mid-table. Not the best December, because we didn't get many wins at all. But, again, we picked up some points here and there. Beat Manchester United. It's the end of December now. Let's have a look where we are on the table. We're slap bang in 10th, so we are way on course to finish in the top 14 now. And I don't really see any way that we sort of drop off. I mean, Spurs and Arsenal are close behind us. Sorry, I had to sort of look twice there. Who's above us then? Wow, Villa and West Ham having amazing seasons. Leicester doing really well in second place there. Manchester City at the moment just running away with it. Who's in trouble of going down or in danger of going down? Newcastle, Palace, and Southampton. Of course, I have enabled the new January transfer. So all of the, like, Newcastle will have Gimenez, they'll have Trippier, etc. So it's kind of shocking to me to see that Watford are 4 points clear of them in 17th there, but we'll see how that develops. So 2 exits to confirm here. Obviously, we spoke about Cork, who was signed permanently by Besiktas, but also we've had our youngster Max Thompson go on a short loan to CD Tondela. So 2 players exiting. Are we going to bring anyone in this January transfer window? It's going to have to be a youngster. We've got about £8 million to do some business with. We can make it work. We can make it work. There's the team right now. McNeil's gone up to an 80. Team's looking so solid. Pope up to an 83 as well. And João Pedro hasn't gone up as quickly as I would like. Dallo, however, at left back has gone up to an 80. Cornet's looking good. Jones is looking good. Team is looking solid. Okay, so here's our signing for the January transfer window, guys. Now, obviously, the void left by the departure of Jack Cork, God rest his soul, who was a long-serving member of Burnley. We have actually gone and replaced him with Ruben Loftus-Cheek for £7.1 million. He is going to become an important squad player, and he's obviously 25 years old. A 5-year deal he gets as well. So he's going to be around hopefully for a long time. Takes the number 24 shirt. Don't mind it. And obviously improves us, makes our squad a bit younger. And he's a very good replacement for Cork. Also makes us a little bit more forward thinking again, because he is a more of a sort of driving forward kind of player. And now this is what the squad looks like then. So we do have obviously Westwood chilling on the bench. I think Loftus-Cheek is actually probably initially going to struggle to get on the bench, to be honest with you, but you know, he will definitely find some game time here, because our next best midfielder is this guy Gomez Mancini, the youngster from France. So yeah, welcome Loftus-Cheek. But yeah, the squad's looking very, very solid. Everybody seems to be going up in rating. We got a nice blend of experience and youth. And overall, I can see us going for a really good, solid mid-table finish. Deadline day then on January the 31st of 2022. We're going to skip right through to the second half of the season. As I always say, business end of the season now. We are sitting in 10th place, very solid. We are performing above my expectations this season currently. And as I've just gone through, the team's looking good. Although Weghorst sitting out the next game, apparently on a red card. But guys, our squad's looking good. How are we going to do in the remaining 15 or so games of the season? Well, if January was anything to go by, again, we've done all right there. I mean, we did lose to Leeds, drew in the Cup to Palace to earn ourselves a replay, actually went on to win that at Selhurst Park, lost narrowly to Leicester, bounced back with an amazing victory away at Arsenal, and then I'm not sure, there might be Port Vale or Tranmere or someone down there on the 23rd, but we also won our next game in the FA Cup as well, so we must be through to probably the round before the quarters. I am now looking at a month where we've got Manchester United and Liverpool. Take anything out of those games, I'll be impressed, but these two are the ones that we need to kind of win, really. Oh my god, honestly, every time that we play one of the big teams, it seems to be a 3-2 result. There's another 3-2 as well against Palace. We actually beat Liverpool 3-2. They're lost on the wrong side of a 3-2 scoreline there to Manchester United as well. Beat Brighton and beat Palace. Mate, we're going for Europe at this rate. What is going on? Oh my god, guys. I'll show you the results at the end of this month, right? We're in April now. Honestly, this could actually ruin our chances of getting European football. Weghorst is out for 3 months, which is basically the rest of the season. So that actually could be the only thing that's stopping us from getting a top 6 or top 7 place. That is nuts. Oh, what bad timing, Weghorst. Right, now somehow, some way or another, this is the situation we're in right now, right? Burnley are 6 in the Premier League. Everton are 3 goals ahead of us on goal difference, but on the same points. We're 4 points off of a Champions League place with Man United. We've also got a game in hand on Everton, so all we need to do is win our next game, and we will be in 5th place. Bro, I was not expecting that from this save and from this rebuild challenge. Let's have a look at our last 4 games then. We are into May. We got Villa, Wolves, and Spurs. 3 very conceivably winnable games. And then our final game, which as you guys know, we're going to play the actual game of, is Newcastle on the last day of the season on the 22nd. So let's skip ourselves all the way through. If we pick up a few wins here, oh, we lose 4-1 randomly to Villa. That's such a weird result. Oh no, it's all falling apart. It's all falling apart without Weghorst. Okay, we lost those 3 on the spin. I mean, yeah, even still, we're going to be in like the top 8 probably here. Oh, we are 7. Bro, we can still get 5th place. Are you joking me? Chelsea have 2 games in hand. We are 7 goals away from Everton. On the last game of the season then, it looks like Everton are playing Arsenal away. They could very conceivably lose that. And Chelsea have got both Manchester United and Watford. So they could lose one of those games, but I don't think we're clawing back that goal difference. So yeah, I think we can aim for 6th, but we're going to have either a massive goal swing or hope that Everton lose their game. Anyway, Newcastle, who, by the way, let's check where they actually are in the league. They're 15th, so they look like they're surviving. They got nothing massively to play for. They can't even get higher in the table. Oh, yes, they can, because they've got 2 games to play. But yeah, like, this is a very winnable game for us. It really is. All right, let's do it. All right, here we are at Turf Moor for the last game of the season. Burnley, in real life, rock bottom of the Premier League. We've managed to steer them all the way up to 7th place. And on this last game of the season, we could get European football. Not just Europa Conference League, but actually full-fledged Europa League football. And yeah, we just have to get a result here. Let's have a look at how the 2 teams line up, starting off with ourselves, Burnley. Obviously, you've seen the team, our strongest team that we've been lining up with throughout the season. I want to see what Curtis Jones can do in the middle. Obviously, massive shame that we haven't got Weghorst, and of course that we're on the back of some bad form, which tends to make the gameplay a little bit more difficult. But there's the team and the bench as well. Let's have a look at Newcastle, who are going to line up with Dubravka in goal, Trippier, Fernandez, Jaman, who's signing, and Target at the back. Vilca, interestingly, at right mid. Gameres, Hayden, Vecino, and St. Maximan in midfield. And it's Chris Wood, the ex-Burnley man, up front for them. They've signed Eric Bailly as well on the bench And it looks like Joe Willock doesn't quite make this starting 11, nor does Callum Wilson. Anyway, I'm actually quite nervous for this one. Come on. I've been losing a lot of games on FIFA lately, which is why I'm so nervous. Here's Guimaraes. Wood overcooks his pass. Nervous against his old team, it would seem. Oh, that's a really poor touch from Rodriguez. Oh, we really need Vibechester up front. All right, that's nice from Roberts. Let's get an attack going here. All right. Ball comes in. Let's get that away. Oh, Wood. We know he's an aerial threat. Jones actually releases a really nice ball to McNeil here. Rodriguez doing what he needs to do. Return pass to McNeil isn't bad, actually. Let's go, let's go. This is actually not bad football. Oh, that's a way over hit ball up the right. Unlucky. We go again. Right, let's... Newcastle have given it away again. Ben Mee looking for something to do now. Brownhill. Roberts up the right. Go on, just keep sprinting, son. Look at this. All the way up the right. McNeil's on the overlap. He doesn't use him. Cross comes in. Come on. Oh, it's a good save from Dubravka again. But the header from Brownhill on the follow-up goes in. Let's go. 1-0. We're doing our work. We're doing our business right now. Obviously, early days, 27 minutes gone only. It's a good goal. If we can hang on to this result, then it could be European football this season, or next season actually, for Burnley. Oh, look at that. Just fell to a little crowd of players, and Brownhill out of that crowd jumped the highest and just knocked it into a empty net as Dubravka tried to come and grab it. That's good, solid Dyche football. I mean, it's the Boxall legacy now, not Dyche, but still, we remember and we honour Sean Dyche's legacy. That's nice from Dallo. Okay, keep the run going, keep the run going. We're going to go for the reverse pass. Here we go. João Pedro, our sign-in, and he's buried it. 2-0, and that is surely gain. We're still in the first half, but I don't care. I'm not conceding 2 goals against Newcastle here. Famous last words, but I'm going to try not to. What a goal from João Pedro. That is why we signed the man from Watford, one of our quote-unquote relegation rivals. Great time on the release as well from our number 21 in the middle, which is, I think 21 must be... I don't know who our 21 is. It might be Curtis Jones, you know. Possibly is. And it's a great little finesse finish anyway in the end. And there we go. Loving life. We look like a disguise manager, but look, we're winning 2-0. Love it. Can we get one more before the half is out? Roberts. Oh, it's a good interception from Hayden. Probably a poor pass there from Roberts. And that should be the end of the half. But St. Maximan, look at that. Tracking back from Tarkowski. Or, no, who's our number 14? McNeil, potentially. Here's Vecino with a little chance for Newcastle before the half is out. 3 minutes gone. Only one was supposed to be added, and they've run out of time. It is 1-0 here at half-time, and Burnley are looking like they could be getting European football. We're gonna have to have a look at the other results. Chelsea are winning, and who are the other team above us? Is it Leicester? Anyway, all the teams around us seem to be winning right now. West Ham are winning. Chelsea are winning. Liverpool, Leicester, Spurs. Yeah, Arsenal as well. Here's Vecino. Uh-oh, here's Wood for St. Maximan. Come on, keeper. Oh, they've pulled one back. On 51 minutes, Newcastle. That is a bad time for us to concede. And it's that man, Alain St. Maximan, who grabs the consolation goal. Potentially consolation goal. I don't know what I'm calling it that. I'm sealing my fate there, really, aren't I? But grabbing the goal, let's say, for Newcastle. Great finish from St. Maximan. 2-1, narrowing that gap now. Uh-oh, here's Guimaraes out to Vilca. Oh, it's Trippier, sorry. Don't let that cross come in. We know what he's got. A wand of a right boot. Here's Guimaraes. Oh, he's cut inside. Vilca, that's offside, ref. Lino, come on. This is great football from Newcastle. Ball comes in. Ben Mee. That's actually good. Can we get a counter-attack? Potentially here. Who's that down the left-hand side? It's McNeil. Honestly, there's no need for us to commit. 4 minutes left to play here. We just play this nice and calmly. Oh my god, why are my players in such weird positions? Then we should be able to win the game. Is that a red card for Wood? No, it's just a yellow. I thought it might have been a second yellow. Eddie Howe there on the touchline making a little sub. Joe Willock coming on for Hayden. And we've got 3 minutes left to see out this win, ladies and gents. Can we do it? I want my players to drop back a little bit. Come on, why are you all at the halfway line? Look, no one's putting any pressure on us. Come back, guys, come back. Right, let's just run around with Dallo because no one's putting pressure on us. It looks like Wood is going to try. We're into stoppage time now. 1 minute only of that. And we're going to shithouse our way to a win here, aren't we? There we go. We have done our business. Now, I don't know what results exactly I'm looking out for. I know the teams around us, West Ham, Leicester. No, are they a bit further ahead? West Ham, Villa, I think. Arsenal, maybe? But I think they're even a bit behind us. But look, I'm going to look out for the results. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but we'll try and make heads or tails of it, and then I guess we'll have a look at the league table to confirm whether we got top 6 or not. But that's a good result there, and a good game from that man there who scored, João Pedro. Love to see it. Right, performance-wise, good solid display. Brownhill looking like the man of the match. Actually, it was St. Maximin for Newcastle. He actually did play really well, but of course on the losing side in the end, so what does that really count for apart from a little bit of individual bragging rights? But look, we had a solid game. All of our strikers and midfielders as well are on like mid to high 7s, and then our defence are pretty solid as well. Right, having a look out for some scorelines here. Arsenal 1, Leicester 1. All right, where did we finish? Did we get 6th? Did we get 6th? Oh, bro, we did. It was Arsenal. It was Arsenal who dropped into 7th. We've done it. Come on. Let's go, Burnley, you shithouses. Man, 17 wins this season, 9 draws, and 12 losses. We have got Burnley to Europe, ladies and gents. Bro, I'm going to say right now, if you want to see Season 2 with Burnley, leave a comment below right now. It's got to happen, hasn't it? Come on. So Cornet was actually our top scorer with 16 goals in all comps and 13 in the Prem. That is really impressive. Vidra then, with 9 Prem goals in 17 games. That's a really good season from the Czech. And then Barnes was next with 7 goals in the Prem and all comps, only scored in the Prem, it looks like. Weghorst only scored 5 in the Premier League, and he's meant to be pretty much our best player. Looks like Rodriguez came in, scored 6. Loftus-Cheek with 4. How many of those were for Chelsea? I'm not sure. Brownhill, Tarkowski, João Pedro scored 3. And yeah, a few chipping in from like Goodmanson, McNeil, Roberts, etc. Let's go all the way down. Oh, Lennon scored 1 as well. Only played 2 games and scored 1 goal. And then if we go to assists, McNeil was top with 8, Vidra with 4. And then we had Tarkowski and Rodriguez, Goodmanson, and then let's go all the way down to see our assisters this season as well. And Lucas Hidalgo as well. He went up by 10 ratings in the entire season, and he's only 16 still. This guy is so special. That would be such a good player to start looking at and playing a little bit in Season 2 as well. So there we go, final standings anyway, guys. Manchester City won the league by a solid 8 points there. Liverpool couldn't quite do enough to mount a serious challenge. Leicester coming 3rd there in the league, and Manchester United, the other team, making the Champions League spots. Then Chelsea, and then us, Burnley, in 6th place. Only 1 point behind Chelsea and only 9 points behind Man U in 4th place. That's crazy. Arsenal miss out on Europa League, but do probably qualify for the Europa Conference. West Ham, Everton, Spurs down in 10th. And then, yeah, some good teams in the sort of mid-range of the table. Going down then, confirmed, Watford, Palace and Southampton, Norwich and Brighton survive. Now in the FA Cup, we did obviously get to round 6, which is the quarters. We win on penalties against Everton. We got to the semis, which again exceeded our targets and our expectations. We did unfortunately lose on pens, again very close to Chelsea there. And then in the final, looks like Man U won on penalties against Chelsea. But then the Carabao Cup, I think we got knocked out literally in the first round. But, you know, we don't worry about that. Yeah, we lost in the second round to Brighton, but we forget about that, doesn't matter. So there we go, 6th place for this squad right here, this Burnley team. What a team we assembled. Guys, let me know what you think of this Burnley rebuild challenge. Who should we do next? Shall we maybe do a stream edition soon? I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments, but thank you guys so much for watching another video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, gang. Love ya. Bye.